maybe they felt like Liverpool was not really what they thought they were. They tried to open up, and they were exposed a lot of times. It's just that Liverpool are not clinical enough at this point. And the United goalkeeper, kudos to him. He had a very, very good game as well, and he managed to keep them in the game. Harry Maguire is a player that even at the worst of his times, people used to ask me what I'm talking about. He's a player that I really, really love. First, for his mental strength, and
Watch Tranzeet TV right now.
Transit Sports TV back again, week 8 of EPL. Big results, massive games taking shape. EPL is doing what we know it to do best. Shocking results, expected ones, teams going toe to toe. The gaps are beginning to emerge week by week. Liverpool 1, Manchester United 0 at Anfield, 2 at Anfield. Nobody could have predicted this one. This is the reason why we like this game of football. You can't script it. You can do all your permutations, you can do all your analysis, predictions, but when the ball bounces, it becomes entirely different game altogether. And with my brother, as an Arsenal fan, I know how you feel about this one, but we are still going to try to be unbiased and make sense of this game. Liverpool 0, Manchester United 2. Liverpool had all the green colors on the statistics of this game. They had better more shot on goal, 6-4, I believe. They had better SG, 2.4 to 104, something like that. And they also had 63 possession. But somehow, Manchester United, for the first time in their history, under Amorim, won back-to-back games at Anfield. And this is the first time United will win at Anfield as well in 10 years. And you also, if you know about Manchester United, you know they are party spoilers. They always show up when you are trying to do something big. Liverpool now haven't lost 5 games in all competition, conceding 9 goals and scoring just 4. In EPL, they have lost 4 straight games, conceding 7 goals and scoring just 4. I don't know where you want to start to make sense of this one.
Wow, all the stats. Hey, first of all, good day, everyone. Thank you for joining us on Transit Sports TV. Like my colleague said, listen, this is the place to come to hear the best analysis, best news as far as football is concerned. Please share, subscribe, and invite even your enemies to come join us. Now, all the stats you mentioned are quite remarkable. First time in 10 years that Manchester United are winning. First time under Amorim that they are winning 2 games in a row.
Yep.
Back-to-back games. Then beating Liverpool when it matters the most. That game today was just something else. Like you said, they are party poopers. That's United are known for that. I mean, especially in the recent past that they haven't been winning trophies. They've been there to spoil. If you're playing United anywhere, whether you're playing them, at Old Trafford or anywhere else, be very afraid. Be concerned that you cannot guarantee that they will lose, especially when the stakes are highest. Exactly. No matter who's out. The funny thing is, no matter who is out of the squad, that's the strange thing about them. You may see the majority of their team may be injured. Their most effective players may not be playing, but the ones that are playing will spoil the show for you.
Body,
yeah. So that's what they did today. I think that to an extent, Amorim, they've given him a new lease of life. He benched Sesko for this game, benched Euro, started Maguire. No, started
Maguire.
And Maguire, yeah. And played what's his name on right back, the Portuguese guy, Dalo that's been fumbling, but still they stood up. Mbeumo stood up. Konha, they fought and fought. I saw them defend with their lives today, the way United haven't defended in a long time. They retreated. and sealed up and became almost Arsenal-like in terms of protecting their lead. And even when their lead got broken, they still came back and scored the second goal. So what an amazing achievement for the Liverpool fans. I mean, United fans are going to be really happy today. They're going to be proud of their club. And Liverpool fans will be left to review, okay, what are we doing? What is our manager doing? Did he ride on luck last season? Is he actually the manager we think he is? And have we replaced the players we lost adequately? That's a key question, right? Luis Diaz. That name will keep coming up. Luis Diaz. This kind of game, Luis Diaz will make a difference, right? And another key thing that I think about Liverpool is Diego Jota. That means couldn't have just been swept over. I think that there's still some effects of the loss of that man at Liverpool club.
Yes, you've spoken well. I agree with you. For me, like I've said a few times, Liverpool went back to doing what they used to do before that never worked. And it doesn't work in EPL. That was before Klopp came. Going out this summer, spending money, buying players who, by what they have done in their clubs the year before, had the right to start games for Liverpool. And in EPL, over the years, is always the team that have the highest number of percentage of their squad together for a longer period that always find a way to get results. We know that Liverpool did it before. They used to buy a lot of players every summer, and it never worked. Klopp came and stopped it. In fact, for almost 2 seasons or more, or 3 seasons, he placed an embargo on signing of players. He used the player that he made there for 2 years and started building on it, and then removing and bringing in. But Slot has come in, used the spot that he made there. Now this summer, he went out there to change more than half of starters in that squad. Yeah, Trent had to left. They had to replace him one way or the other. On the left side, Robinson has not been doing well. You replace him. Then you bring in Ferran Wirtz in that midfield. You bring in Ekitike. You bring in Isak. This is too much of players to bring into your starting 11, and you expect to get the same results. For me, this is one of the fundamental issues that Liverpool are having. And Slot also has to deal with the emotional side of it, in the sense that who are you benching and who are you playing. But what I noticed today that was very, very obvious in Liverpool is the fact that they lack chemistry, which is still part of what I'm talking about. You could see so many times they were not operating at the same wavelength. When a team has chemistry, you can close your eye and pass the ball, your teammate will be there. But today there are so many misplaced passes because somebody else is trying to be, once they pass in front of him, you're putting it behind him or to fit. Then he has to make touches to control to get going. So these are little stuff. They might not be overly tactically embodied, but they determine the outcome of results. And I saw a lot of that today. And this is what Liverpool have to work on. And as Slot, he tried to revert to the midfield that he had before, but somehow Isak is foreign to that style of play. So they created one of the chances for him in the beginning, and that was it. Isak was almost anonymous in that game today. Salah has been performing, like you mentioned, the Jota effect. We know there is something, and I'm glad you mentioned that issue. In my reaction after the game, I said that there is something that is not physical that is wrong with Liverpool. You can say all you want to say. There is something that is not physical, that you can see it. They lack that energy. I was looking at Sober's slide today. There was a time Dogu went past him. I didn't see that desire to get back. He gave up and was expecting Konate to kind of help him out. On the left side of the defense, the gap between Van Dijk and Kakes is massive, and you could see Van Dijk so many times in the game today shaking his head because he was doing too much running that he likes to do. We know Van Dijk likes to keep the ball, everything in front of him, but with this new left and right fullbacks, he's finding it difficult to control that defense, and every time he's had to run back to retrieve possession, and that's not how Van Dijk plays his football. Enough for Liverpool. Let's go to Manchester United. With all the noise, with all the high fives for Amorim, I also want to believe that he shows some vulnerability. And I settled down today and watched Manchester United. and I could see the reason why they have been struggling. First of all, they started very well by staying compact at Anfield. They got their early goal, whether by a stroke of luck or whether it was planned. That goal was immaculate. They got the goal and they retreated, and this is what they're supposed to do: be compact and be difficult to beat. And I could see them developing some certain patterns of play. It's coming up. You can see it sometimes. But my biggest worry is Amorim's and the players' naiveness to do what doesn't work for them. And what is that? When Manchester United stay compact, close to each other, they're difficult to play through because they have players that are experienced, that can cut out passes and generate something for the team. But they still find it comfortable to stay open. And so many times in transition, when they lose possession, I don't see that eagerness, that desire to get behind the ball. They just throw back. And somehow the opponent loses the ball, then they are safe. If not, they'll be shot on their goal. And that is why Liverpool had more shots than Manchester United in this game, because they find it difficult to retrieve back to defensive shape when they lose the ball. And this is something maybe the next step for them. Okay, we start good, we stay compact, but when we don't have the ball, there should be a sense of urgency to get back into shape until we build that confidence. I don't know what what your take is on United as a team today in this game. You're mute.
Sorry, Reggie. I lost you for. I lost track of what you were saying for the last 10 seconds.
Yeah, I was saying, I don't know what your take is on United in regards to how they approach this game, how they played. Like if there are things you picked out.
Yeah, well, I thought they had a good game plan. From what I saw, that early goal really set them on the right path. Because you don't want Liverpool to press you into your 18-yard box and you defend all game, right? What they did first was to go on the offense, and it yielded result for them from the word go. The transitions you talked about, yes, you're right in that sense. Well, United, based on the personnel that they have, I don't think they could do anything much more different than they did today. Unfortunately for me, I didn't see the second half of the game. I saw a bit of the first half. Okay. So I cannot right now give you details on the way that they played. The only thing I can speak on is the passion that I saw them display.
Yeah, in the beginning of the game, they stayed very, very compact, and that was very obvious. And it worked out because that's what they can do. But as the game progressed, they lost that shape and started being open. And that was my concern. I was really worried about. I said, Amorim should know that this is not going to work. And he showed today that, I know I've been on the coach sometimes I said these players they're not that bad. But he showed that these players cannot play the way Amorim really wants them to play. Right. So as a coach, you now have to adapt and instill that discipline in them. And again, you are the one that bought the bulk of this player. So if it's not working, then you have to question yourself as well. So what do you do? And normally when the team is not doing well, the first thing you do is start to build confidence by stopping to lose games, start to win games, then you grow from there. You don't go from losing games and say, this is what I want. It's decided the game very well, stay compact. It's at Anfield, it's only going to be difficult. But as the game progressed, maybe they felt that Liverpool was not really what they thought they were. They tried to open up and they were exposed a lot of times. It's just that Liverpool are not clinical enough at this point. And the United goalkeeper, kudos to him. He had a very, very good game as well. And he managed to keep them in the game. Harry Maguire is a player that even at the worst of his times, people used to ask me what I'm talking about. He's a player that I really, really love. First, for his mental strength, and if he finds himself in a system that suits him, he's not a bad player. And he has turned up for Amorim and United so many times in this bad period.
Harry Maguire. Oh, yeah. No, you're a fan of Harry Maguire.
Yes, so I'm very, very happy for him today. He didn't have a bad game in any way. And secondly, getting that winning goal today, I can just imagine, what that could do to his confidence. And like we always say, everything that happens in the United dressing room finds a way outside. When he was coming to the dressing room after his interview, after the game. There are clips out there of him, the players cheering him up and celebrating with him when he came in. So yeah, this is a massive win for United. But what next for Arne Slot at Liverpool?
What next for Arne Slot? Arne Slot, nothing else than to recalibrate, figure out what works. Now he's going to he doesn't want to get into a zone where fans start to make noise about him, right? And make it tough for him to do his job. And so my suggestion would be that he goes back to the basics, find something that works for the team, and let them play. Their body language, I don't know how to describe what I saw today, especially after losing that game. Towards the end of the game, it seemed like the players had resigned themselves to a fate that things are not working. They don't seem bright. They don't seem optimistic. Changes were made, bringing in the likes of Chiesa. Was it Jones?
Curtis Jones came in.
Curtis Jones, yes.
Gravenberch, Kitike came in, made a few moves, but he couldn't get his shot on target. And he even took off Salah towards the end of it. And obviously pushed Szoboszlai to the right back and removed this guy from there and brought in Frimpong as well. So he's, for me, I think when it gets to this point, because 5 straight losses in all competitions, there is no way. Is unprecedented for no team, even the team that is in relegation. When you lose that number of games in quick succession, it's never going to be taken lightly. So for a champion to lose 5 straight games, it's crisis. It's massive crisis period. So what you're going to do is you have to stay humble. You have to become humble and say, hey, we're not good enough at this point. So approach games in a little bit way of being conservative and make yourself, like I've said so many times, you have to stop to concede goals, first of all. Because like Trossard said yesterday, when you keep clean sheets, you only need one chance for you to win the game. But if you concede goals, you have to score 2 or 3 to win. And that's the problem that Liverpool are having at the moment.